To the Texans, it was a failed negotiation that turned violent. To the Comanche, it was a premeditated massacre. News of the massacre spread across the plains like a prairie fire. The Comanche response was swift, unified, and terrible. The last great war chief of the Penateka, a man named Potsanaquahip, or Buffalo Hump, set out runners to all the bands, calling for vengeance. By the summer of 1840, he had assembled the largest war party the Comanche had ever mustered. Perhaps as many as 1,000 people, including hundreds of warriors from every major Comanche division, their Kiowa tribal allies, and Mexican guides, gathered for a single purpose: to make the Texans pay in blood. This was the Great Raid of 1840. They swept down the Guadalupe River Valley, a human tidal wave that crashed on the town of Victoria on August 6th. One settler wrote, "We of Victoria were startled by the apparitions presented by the sudden appearance of 600 mounted Comanche in the immediate outskirts of the village. They killed dozens and captured over 1,500 horses before moving on. Their target was the coast, a region the Texans believed was safe from attack. On August 8th, they descended on the port of Linville. The surprised residents fled to boats anchored in the bay and were forced to watch as the Comanche systematically plundered and burned their town to the ground. Eyewitnesses described a scene of surreal destruction, a drunken saturnalia, where warriors donned stolen top hats and silk ribbons, dragging bolts of fine cloth behind their horses as they rode through the flames." The raid was a stunning strategic success. The Comanche had proven that no settlement in Texas was safe. On their return journey, laden with plunder and thousands of stolen horses, they were intercepted by a force of Texan militia and rangers at the Battle of Plum Creek. The Texans would claim it as a great victory, but the Comanche inflicted casualties and made off with the bulk of their loot. In their eyes, the Great Raid had achieved all its objectives. They had exacted revenge, gathered immense plunder, and delivered a message of terror to the very heart of the Republic. In the smoldering aftermath of the Great Raid, the defense of the Texas frontier fell to a man who seemed the very antithesis of the brawny, rough-hewn frontiersman. John Coffee Hayes, known as Jack, was appointed a captain of the Rangers in 1840. He was slender, of average height, quiet, and unassuming. A fellow ranger described him as a stripling of few words, whose quiet demeanor stretched quite to the verge of modesty.